A very good day to you. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. It's Thursday, August 3rd. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run. In the wake of Tuesday night's gunfire in the city of Newburgh, State Assembly Speaker Carl Hastie said the federal government must do more to curb gun trafficking. The top Democrat in the Assembly was in Newburgh on Wednesday, touring Downing Park with Assemblyman Jonathan Jacobson, and addressed gun violence, noting the state has some of the toughest gun laws in the nation.
Every illegal gun in this country starts out legal somewhere, and we need to do a better job of tracking those guns. And then me personally, this country's fascination with guns is, I don't even understand it. We're 4% of the world's population. We have 67% of the civilian-held guns in the world. There's enough guns in this country, 400 million guns for 330 million people. There's 1.3 guns for everybody. And we wonder why people are getting shot, mass shootings, people shot in the urban centers. Too many guns.
Hastie says most other industrialized nations don't allow their citizens to carry guns. The early morning execution of a search warrant in a motel just outside Milford, Pennsylvania on Wednesday led to the arrest of two Port Jervis residents on drug charges. The joint investigation by the Pike County District Attorney's Office, Pennsylvania State Police Vice Unit, and Port Jervis Police led to the seizure of just under 1/2 kilogram of cocaine, a digital scale, and items used to cut cocaine for sale, as well as several pills suspected to be ecstasy. Police charged 52-year-old Kevin Washington and 34-year-old Ashley Nellums with possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance, cocaine, and criminal conspiracy, both as felonies. Dellums was also charged with flight to avoid apprehension, trial, or punishment, a felony because police learned she was wanted on a parole violation warrant from the Pennsylvania Department of Corrections. She was on parole for a prior conviction in Pike County Court for delivery of a controlled substance. Both Washington and Nellums were arraigned and remanded with bail set at $5 million each. Pike District Attorney Raymond Tonkin said assisting in the investigation with the Pike County Sheriff's Office and Orange County Drug Task Force. A 36-year-old Ulen man has been arrested by the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office for operating an illegal marijuana dispensary in the parking lot of the former Carriage House, now River's Edge, in the town of Highland. Cannabis may be sold in New York, but only at licensed facilities. Deputies were tipped off when the suspect, identified as John Lomeo, tried to sell pot to people working in a neighborhood garden, not knowing they were working at a drug rehab facility. They tipped off the sheriff's office, and Under-Sheriff Eric Shaboti set up undercover surveillance. Highland Town Supervisor Jeff Haas said they won't tolerate that type of illegal activity.
Town of Highland is not a place for those who seek to commit quality-of-life crimes or peddle illicit and illegal substances to its residents or visitors.
Sheriff Mike Schiff had a warning.
If you think this is the place to be breaking the law in that manner and dispensing drugs possibly to children, even to adults that shouldn't be having this stuff, you will find a problem here.
Investigators found pot, hallucinogenics, and cash in Lomeo's house and car. More news right after this.
Find over 100 retailers allowing you to spend hours shopping safely at the Galleria at Crystal Run. Enjoy the big brands and the diverse selection of family-owned stores all in one location. The Galleria at Crystal Run offers dining options for everyone with Fuji 110 Grill, Allen's Mediterranean Grill, and Peru Cuisine. Discover the Mid-Hudson Valley's premier shopping, dining, and entertainment destination, the Galleria at Crystal Run. For more information, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or visit GalleriaCrystalRun.com.
Hudson Valley Congressman Michael Lawler says he remains undecided as to who he will support for the Republican nomination to run for president next year. Former President Donald Trump, who's the front-runner in a field of several GOP presidential candidates, was indicted by a federal grand jury over his activities pertaining to the 2020 election that led to the January 6th insurrection. Lawler says he will see how the legal case plays out.
I haven't decided who I'm supporting, but as I've said, I think there should be a robust primary debate, and I believe we should be going in a different direction. So, it's pretty clear.
But the freshman lawmaker would not commit to his choice to run on the Republican line against Democratic President Joe Biden in November 2024. The city of Kingston now has a new citywide zoning code as Mayor Stephen Noble signed the measure into law yesterday. The Common Council Tuesday evening unanimously adopted the new code. The code, developed over the course of 3 years with community input and the assistance of consultants, encourages affordable housing, promotes walkable and accessible neighborhoods, safeguards historic building patterns, and preserves Kingston's open spaces, says the mayor.
This code means that we're going to truly be open for development here in the city of Kingston.
The new code, which goes into effect immediately, ends minimum parking requirements citywide, legalizes accessory dwellings, an affordable and flexible housing type citywide, and legalizes multifamily and infill development citywide. Robert Chambers, who as a 19-year-old was convicted of killing a young woman in New York Central Park during what he maintained was rough sex, was released from Shongum State Correctional Facility 1 week ago after serving a sentence for drug sales. Chambers, who was dubbed the Preppy Killer, had been released from prison in 2003 after serving 15 years for the killing of 18-year-old Jennifer Levin in 1986. Years later, he was arrested and sentenced on the drug charges. Chambers, now 56, and he's reportedly living in Rockland County, according to a violent offender posting on Facebook. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run.